Hi there. I am Mrs. Ehlke. And I was talking so slow because today we are doing a sloth, a very, very slow animal. Thankfully, this is not going to be a slow tutorial. We'll do it in regular speed. Today, I drew a sloth. I used just regular Crayola markers. You could do it with a pencil or whatever you have lying around your house. Sloth is a very cute animal, very slow, but very adorable. So if you would like to try out this cute little sloth tutorial, have fun and give it a go, all right? Thank you so much for the sloth request. I enjoyed doing a sloth. I have a regular Crayola marker that I'm using to draw my very slow sloth. If you want to also use a marker, you can, or you can just use a regular pencil. Alright, I'm going to make my sloth kind of diagonally across my page. I want him hanging from a branch. So I'm going to start off by just creating a large hook, kind of like this. And it's going to curve around and go down like that. Okay, that's going to be kind of the main part of my sloth's body. Now for his head, I'm going to kind of make the hook come over a little bit and down so that it's got a nice head shape here. And then I need some arms that are hanging up on this branch. So I'm going to start maybe right about here. I'm going to do one arm that's hooked up over the branch, so another hook like that, and a leg down here that's hooked up over the branch as well. Okay, then I'm going to need a back leg, but before I do that I want to make the branch so that the branch is in front of some of those parts. So I'm going to do the bottom section of the branch. It's going to go on the top like this from the page. It'll run into this part of the arm. I'm going to make the back part of the arm a little bit furrier than the front, so I'm going to go ahead and curve this down and add some hair because they do have some nice fur on them. I'm going to continue this branch right here. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the back leg where I'm going to curve it around. I might add just a little bit of fur. The back leg's going to go way closer to the line down here. And then I'm going to continue the bottom part of the branch all the way off the page. Okay, so this is the nice branch that the sloth is hanging from. Now before I make the other part of the branch, I want to do some of the little fingers that are holding on. So the fingers here would be kind of drooped over like this. So there's the top part of the branch and the fingers are kind of hanging on the top like that. This one you'll only be able to see a little bit. And I will be able to see the back legs though coming over. So I'm going to make a little bump for the back leg here, and then the back arm is going to be up here. So I'm going to make a little bump like that. The back leg, back arm. The fingers are going to curve down like this. 1 and 2. So you can see I'm kind of grabbing the branch. And the same thing here. I'm going to have the fingers kind of curling down around the branch, so you can see those are holding on. Now I can finish drawing my tree like that so that it looks like they're grabbing on to something. Okay, now to give the rest of the sloth in here, I'm going to continue his body. I'm going to connect the back here to the front. This part right here is part of his leg, so that'll just go straight up to where the leg was behind the tree. He still needs a tummy and the front part over here of his neck, so I'm going to connect this and I'll make a line here for where his tummy would be. So now I've got the whole body. And then this arm still doesn't have any connecting it to the body. So I'm going to make a line that connects like that. So it looks like he's hugging that tree branch. Okay. Now I still need a face, of course, so I'm going to start working on that. I'll start with the nose because it's a good kind of central point to work with. I'm going to make the nose kind of right in the middle here, and it's kind of a shape like that, not quite an oval, a little more boxy than an oval. He's got two little nose holes like this that kind of connect to each other and go down. So there's his cute little nose. For his mouth, there's a little line that goes down like this, and then sloths for some reason always look like they're smiling. They look like such happy animals. So I'm going to make a nice little smile for my sloth, and I'm going to make it a little wider like that. So he's a happy sloth. Okay. Now the eyes of the sloth are almost right next to the nose. They're actually pretty far down. So I'm going to go ahead and make a circle almost right next to the nose, like that, on either side. And then you can kind of decide where your sloth is looking. You can be looking right at you, you can be looking to the side. I think I'm going to make mine looking that way. So I'm going to make his eyes kind of off to the side like that. Okay, now I'm going to add some other details to his face to make him look even more like a sloth. Above his eyes there's kind of a little bit of color change in the fur, so I'm going to just do some little fur-like motions here that kind of go up. They go down in the middle and then up over each eye, and then kind of connect to the side of his head. And the bottom here, I'm also going to add some extra fur, but before I do that I want to kind of outline a little bit where his nose and mouth are. So he's got a little bit of a color change that kind of connects around his mouth. So I'm just kind of making a broken line, one that's not too perfect, so it looks kind of like fur. And then I'm going to add another line to kind of close in where his face would be. So this is going to go kind of all down and around this to kind of show where his face starts and where his body starts, or kind of the neck. I'm also going to add the little eye area. They've got kind of this darker section around their eyes. It starts kind of close in and then it goes almost all the way out to the side. So that's usually when you color it in a little bit darker like that. Okay, so these sections here are darker and the section around the mouth is like a darker brown, and then all the stuff around that is a lighter, like tan. The stomach of the sloth can be a little bit lighter, so I may kind of put an indication of a lighter line kind of like in here, just with some furry marks. So if you wanted to color this a little bit lighter than the outside, you could do that. And then that's really all that I would need to do. I could be done. If you wanted to kind of add some little marks along the top to make it look a little bit more furry, or like along the back, you could add a couple little marks kind of like this to give it a little bit of texture. You could do that. Some other things that you could add would be some lines to the tree to make it look more like wood. And then of course there's probably other branches and stuff showing, so if you wanted to get really fancy, you could add some leaves and some smaller branches that were kind of hanging out too. So I may have maybe another branch that's kind of hanging over here. That's not quite as big as the one that my sloth is hanging on. And then maybe I'll have a couple leaves that are coming off of this branch so that it looks like that he's kind of hanging up in a tree. So I don't know well enough what kind of trees the sloths like to hang out in, but definitely That's one of their favorite spots. We went to the zoo and actually got to see a sloth in Minneapolis, and they said that they really just can hang up there and sleep for a long time. So we saw one that was just hanging up in the tree sleeping, and they said he comes down to go to the bathroom and maybe eats a little bit, and then he goes back up and sleeps some more for a really long time. So you can kind of add some other little things like that and give it some branches, some leaves, and then of course some color. Maybe I'll throw one more little branch up here so that we can have some leaves kind of over by his head. I'm making some longer, skinnier leaves so that we can have some kind of shade going on. Okay, and there's my super happy sloth. Hopefully your sloth doesn't take you super forever to make. I know they're very slow animals, but this was a nice quick tutorial. Please share with me your pictures of your sloths. I hope they turn out as cute as this guy did. Thank you so much for watching.